Setting out for this bout at 185 pounds. Tom Scott versus John Ferguson. Call of knuckle up from referee Alan Jackson. Round number 1 underway. Black and gold trunks for Tom Scott. Black and pink trunks for John Ferguson. Off the jab into that high, tight striking guard of Ferguson. Double jab, not there for Ferguson. Good head movement from Scott. Scott firing now to the body. 2 to the head, 1 to the body with the right hook.
Very good job there by Scott. As soon as he saw his opponent was blocking upstairs, moved downstairs.
Hook jab from Ferguson. Double jab there, body, head from Scott. Open chested jab from Ferguson. On the inside, Scott back to the outside. 1:15 remaining, round number 1. Big to the body again. Ferguson nearly landed the counter to the right hand.
Scott doing a great job of every time he sees what's open, that's what he's going for. If you're blocking the head, he's going for the body. If you're blocking the body, going for the head.
Almost a downward forward punch. Shades of a Superman punch from John Ferguson. Never brought up the knee though, so it was legal. Right hand on the uppercut with the right hand from Scott. On the jab again to the inside. Short left hand. Stiff jab from Scott on the reply. Ferguson just missing with the big rear right uppercut. Scott cut outside of his right eye. You see Ferguson opening his chest, throwing out his arms, talking to Tom Scott. Fast jab from Ferguson.
Every time Ferguson's getting hit, he just continues to come back, yell at his opponent. You can tell it doesn't seem to bother him so far.
Closing stages of round number 1. 1-1-2, nothing there into the clinch for Ferguson. The bell, next stop, round 2. Sporting slap of hands, round number 2. Overhand right, not there from Ferguson. Hook jab again. Big swings from the outside in the mid-range from Ferguson, but Scott showing excellent head movement.
And a lot of those punches landed, but not really clean. It didn't land flush and do much damage. They landed, but Tom Scott did a good job of rolling with him and just made them where they didn't hurt very much.
Scott continually feinting on the level change. 1-1-2, not there for Ferguson. Scott now resetting in the center circle off the one of his own. Scott with the right hand, couldn't fully land. Big swings from Ferguson. Ferguson looking to counter the left and the right hand. That moved back Scott.
Ferguson definitely the more active fighter this round.
Scott keeping his hands very tight, very high. Scott stepping forward, the right hand. Right back to the outside. 50 seconds remaining, round 2. Exploding in is Ferguson right back out to the center circle. See the continual level changes, the rolls, the feints from Scott. Scott pulling that jab back mid-flight. To the inside, right back out. 20 seconds to go, round number 2. There's the jab from Ferguson.
Ferguson doing a good job utilizing that jab. Even though he's got the shorter reach, he's jumping in and landing those jabs at will sometimes.
Feint from Ferguson, opens his chest. We move to round 3. Set for round number 3. Tom Scott versus John Ferguson in the light heavyweight division. Right hand not there from Ferguson. Going to throw to the body. Ferguson back to the jab and the jab again.
You can just see right now, Ferguson just being the busier fighter, throwing a lot more punches.
Short right hand, counter right on the exit from Ferguson. That was slick. Ferguson, you see the playfulness, spinning his arms. Clean 1-2. Those are diversionary tactics from John Ferguson. Scott just missing with that right uppercut. And you see the playfulness from Ferguson. It's not clowning. Again, just trying to get Tom Scott to open up a bit.
And look at that very good job done by Ferguson right now. Leaned back just to get out of the way and came back with his own punches right after him.
With flowing freely from that mouse that popped under Scott's eye, the left eye of round number 1.
Look, he's got a cut under the other eye now as well. Oh, is that the same one? Never mind.
50 seconds remaining, round 3. Overhand right, missed by Scott. Ferguson with that right hook. Ferguson continuing to be busier and busier as this fight progresses. Big right hand from Ferguson, snapping back the head of Scott on the entry. Another right hand lands from Ferguson off the double jab. Chris, we're starting to see Tom Scott fall into the pattern of one punch at a time.
And that's where Ferguson's doing a great job of throwing multiple punches from odd angles, and then he moves. He's not there for the return. Doing the ultimate of hit and don't get hit. He's not there. He's hard to pin down. Very awkward style.
Definitely spinning off the ring ropes. John Ferguson back into space. That is the end of round 3.
He's got to push his opponent backwards.
Round number 4.
Throw combinations. He did that well early when his opponent blocked upstairs. He went downstairs. Kind of gotten away from that right now.
Ferguson right back to the jab that has served him very well in this fight. And there's the 2. That punch has been there as well, that right hand. Another 2. Swing and a miss, the quick counter from Ferguson. Scott, you can see though, trying to turn up the pressure, trying to be more active here in round number 4. Perhaps sensing the urgency of the moment, or at least his corner is, and relaying that to Scott. Ferguson, very clever with his movements in this fight thus far. Right hand misses from Scott. Scott, Chris, so much more conventional in his movements. Ferguson slipping, staying on the outside, landing from some unusual angles.
Yeah, it's very effective a lot of times. You don't see guys like that when you're training. You don't see it when you're sparring. It's sometimes you're like, okay, I'm just going to do A or B, but it's very difficult to do if you haven't trained against that. And it's very hard to find a guy. When they're a unique style, you're never going to find somebody you can train with that is going to mimic that style.
John Ferguson right now making his style work for him.
Look at that, 3 punches and then he's out where you can't be hit.
Scott missed badly with the right hand, but Scott lands that left hand. Ferguson visibly growing in confidence, becoming more and more playful.
And I like the subtleties he's doing, just a little lean back, a little move out of the way when a punch comes and fires right back. Even when he does get hit, he fires right back. Just right there, he got hit with a punch, do another jab. Closing
stages, round number 4. Ferguson coming forward with his hands low. Double right hand, another right hand, the left hook. Sportsmanship displayed from both men.
There's that respect right here. We've seen a lot of it tonight.
5th and final round underway. Respect class for both Tom Scott and John Ferguson.
Sometimes, Scott, I'm pushing my opponent back against ropes and trying to do some work for me. You cannot stay right in the middle and let him dictate when the fight happens.
Ferguson has been exceedingly clever on his exits. Not just the entries, but the exits. Scott, massive contrast in just where the fighters are keeping their hands and how they're moving their head. Scott, so much more conventional, but Ferguson has really been effective in this fight. Hands low, open shoulder, hard shoulder turn. There's the right hand again. Ferguson has really started to land that hard right since round number 3.
He's thrown so many odd jabs and different things from other angles. You don't really expect a clean 1-2 coming, and that's why it's working. It's almost like a change-up, Sean. You don't think that punch is coming and lands clean then.
See heavy swelling in both eyes of Tom Scott. Started under the left eye, the mouse popped in round 1. Damage in the right eye as well. Just a simple duck under of the jab. That right there is this fight in microcosm. Then the 1-2 missed by Scott. Ferguson on the full back pedal comes in to land the jab. Stretch drive now with 25 seconds remaining, 5th and final round. Nothing there on the jab for Scott. Hands high, roll under. Final seconds now, overhand right, counter right hand from Ferguson. Hook to the body, on the full exit. That is the end of this bout.
And Sean, it was hard to believe for me that was John Ferguson's second bare-knuckle fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, after completing the scheduled 5 rounds, all of our judges at ringside are in agreement at 49-46 in favor of your winner by unanimous decision.